kind of bouncing off the walls back here. I'll let you know as we start, Denise. I might need to translate to you if the mics are too hot to tell her. I can't see you with the TV, so just go like this.
I would like to call this regularly scheduled meeting to order at 6:30.
Members of the public can view the meeting live on YouTube, and the link is posted on the agenda. Members of the public are hereby notified that meetings of the Board of Directors are recorded, and requests for video recordings may be made to the clerk of the board. If a member of the public wishes to make a general public comment or a comment on a certain agenda item, please submit a blue speaker card to the clerk of the board, and speaker cards are available at the back of the room. And at this time, I'd like to welcome up Ed Espinoza, Managing Principal with Francisco & Associates, for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we'll hear a little bit more from Ed later on in the meeting.
A lot more.
Standing action item.
SB 707 request. This is the portion of the meeting where we deal with any requests to join remotely through SB 707, and we receive no requests under the emergency cause provisions, and we'll list it as no action taken.
3, roll call.
Director Sloan?
Present.
Director Danzel?
Here.
Secretary Yearwood?
Here.
Vice Chair Mattis?
Here.
Chair Langen?
Here. And that brings us to B, comments by the public on non-agenda items.
Members of the public may address the board on topics within the district's jurisdiction that are not listed on this agenda. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes, and it is a violation of state law for the board to discuss or take action on non-agenda items. Board members may only briefly ask clarifying questions or refer the matter to staff. And at this time, we receive no speaker cards. And seeing none, there is no public comment.
All right, we will move on to consent calendar.
Consent calendar items are considered administratively routine and will be acted upon in one motion unless separate action on a specific item is necessary. The chairperson will consider any request for discussion on the items prior to approval of the consent calendar. And this evening, we have 11 items for your consideration. And at this time, we receive no speaker cards, and seeing none, I will turn it back over to you.
All right, are there any items to be pulled from the consent calendar?
Let's pull all of them and talk about each one.
No.
I make a motion that we approve consent calendar C1 through C11.
Second.
Got a motion by Vice Chair Mattis and a second by Director Danzel. Vote.
Director Sloan?
Aye.
Director Danzel?
Aye.
Secretary Yearwood?
Aye.
Vice Chair Mattis?
Aye.
Chair Langen?
Aye. All right, presentations, I see none. Committee reports.
Item E1, Ad Hoc Committee, City District 2x2 on June 24th, 2026, attended by Chair Langen and Vice Chair Mattis. And at this time, we received no speaker cards, so I will turn it back over to you, Chair.
All right. Vice Chair Mattis, would you like to start?
Go ahead. My notes, my computer's not turning on.
Okay. So it was a great meeting just to get insight to even more detail of the day-to-day interactions of what goes on between the relationship with the city and CRPD. And a few of the things that were brought up were the city, they updated us on their spring service day event and how it was great to have CRPD out there and all that good stuff. And also just thank you to us for being out there. And then we as CRPD talked about the possibility of security cameras being installed, monitored by Rancho Cordova Police Department, kind of a pilot program at one of the parks. And so, yeah, White Rock Park. And so just wanted to bring those up, and it was a great meeting and a great time to just kind of just understand more of that side of the district.
Yeah, the same, I don't have my notes, but the same thing that Chair Langen said, the relationship, it was nice to see that, nice to finally be a part of the city 2x2. It would have been nice if we would have had both city council members represented there, but at least we got a chance to meet with the city and talk with them and staff, so it was really good to meet with them and talk with them.
All right, that brings us to F, public hearings.
Item F1, adopt resolution 26/27-7, approving engineer's report, confirming diagram and assessment, and ordering levy of assessment for fiscal year 2026/27 for the Independence at Mather Landscaping and Lighting Assessment District. And CFO Matt Goodell will be introducing this once the public hearing is open.
All right, the public hearing is now open at 6:36.
All right, I'd like to introduce Ed Espinoza from Francisco & Associates, and he'll walk you through these two hearings.
Thank you, Matt. Members of the board, district staff, it's great to see you again. We've had the pleasure of working with the Cordova Park and Rec District for a long time and known Matt for a long time. And what we do is we administer the district's landscape and lighting assessment districts along with your community facilities districts. So the first item this evening is the Mather Landscape and Lighting Assessment District. This district was formed back in 2000. The purpose of the district is to maintain the landscaping and park improvements that benefit properties within the Mather subdivision for Veterans Park and Independence Park. Tonight is the third and final step in the annual process to approve the assessments for Mather, for the Mather LAD. Landscape and Lighting Assessment Districts are otherwise known as LAD. So you'll hear me use that acronym tonight. The first action in the annual process occurred back on April 15th, when the board directed staff to prepare the annual engineer's report. And that engineer's report was brought before you on June 17th. It was preliminarily approved, and at that same night, that same evening, the public hearing was set for today, July 15th. So tonight, we are asking the board to hold a public hearing, take public testimony, and approve the final engineer's report to authorize the assessments that would allow us to place them on the property tax roll for fiscal year 26/27. So assuming we receive your approval this evening, our team will place the assessments ahead of the county deadline, and property owners will see the Mather assessments on their property tax bills, which are usually issued in September, October of every year, with the first installment due by December and the second due in April, and with the deadline of May of the following year. So the fiscal year 26/27 assessment may be increased annually by the greater of the Consumer Price Index, which is published by the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, and the index we use is the San Francisco Bay Index. It's the index that is most relevant to this region and this area. So the greater of the CPI or 3%. For this year, the CPI was 2.18, so we're applying the 3% increase this year for Mather. And what that looks like for a single-family home within the Mather subdivision is the assessment went from $214.40 to $220.83 for this upcoming fiscal year. So that's what property owners will see on their upcoming property tax bill this fall. The projected total revenue is about $281,000 this fiscal year, and that's going to be broken up in 2 installments following the deadline for property owners to pay their assessments. And so for that reason, the district will get the first installment in January, February of next year, and then the second installment around May That concludes my presentation on this item. I'd be happy to address any questions you or any member of the public may have.
Is there any public comment?
We have received none at this time.
All right. The public hearing is now closed at 6:39. And do we have any questions? Discussion?
None for me.
No. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion. I move the board of directors adopt resolution 26/27-7, approving engineer's report, confirming diagram and assessment, and ordering levy of assessment for the fiscal year of 2026/27 for the Independence at Mather Landscaping and Lighting Assessment District.
A motion by Director Sloan,
I'll second.
a second by Secretary Yearwood. Roll call vote.
Director Sloan?
Aye.
Director Danzel?
Aye.
Secretary Yearwood?
Aye.
Vice Chair Mattis?
Aye.
Chair Langen?
Aye. That brings us to F2.
Item F2, adopt resolution 26/27-8, approving engineer's report, confirming diagram and assessment, and ordering levy of assessment for fiscal year 2026-27 for the Cordova Recreation and Park District, Park Maintenance and Recreation Improvement District. And I will turn it back over to Ed after the public hearing is opened.
All right, the public hearing is now open at 6:41.
Thank you. The Park Maintenance and Recreation Improvement Assessment District, otherwise known as PMRID, was formed back in 2006, and the boundaries are contiguous with district boundaries. And you may recall it's broken up into different benefit zones. Benefit Zone D is the part of the area of the district that is not assessed because either there are no improvements within those areas, or those areas have been annexed into one of your community facilities districts. So for that reason, you'll notice that Benefit Zone D properties within that benefit zone do not receive an assessment, even though they're technically within the boundaries. The district provides funding for the ongoing maintenance of landscaping, park, and recreational improvements benefiting properties within those respective areas. And like the Mather LAD, tonight is the third step in the annual three-step process. On April 15th, the board directed staff to prepare the engineer's report. That engineer's report was preliminarily approved on June 17th, and also that evening, the public hearing was set for this evening, July 15th. And so tonight, we're asking the board to hold a public hearing, take public testimony, approve the final engineer's report, and authorize the levy of assessments for this upcoming fiscal year 26-27. The maximum assessment rate for PMRID is subject to an annual adjustment that's tied to the Consumer Price Index, not to exceed 3%. And if the CPI does exceed 3%, you can bank it for a subsequent year. But for any given fiscal year, the actual assessment levied cannot exceed 3%. This year, for PMRID, the CPI was a little above 3%. It was 3.04%. And the reason it's different from the Mather CPI is because it's a different index that's used. For PMRID, it's the base month is December, and for Mather, it's the annual CPI, so it's just slightly different index. So that's why the percentages are different. So for PMRID, it's 3.04. So the maximum assessment increase that can be applied is the 3%. So that's what's being proposed this year. The CPI bank going into subsequent years is 2.78, because what we're doing is we're carrying over that 0.04 delta to a subsequent year. And what that means for this year in terms of the assessment rate, single-family homes this current year paid $33 for the entire year on their property tax bill, and that assessment will go up to $33.99. So that's the 3% increase, and the total projected revenue is $1,288,000 for the entire district, all three benefit zones, A, B, and C. That concludes my presentation this evening. I'd be happy to address any questions you or members of the public may have.
Is there any public comment?
We have received no public comment at this time.
The public hearing is closed at 6:45. Do we have any questions, board members?
No, sir.
None? Do we have a motion?
I move the Board of Directors adopt Resolution 26/27-8, approving engineer's report confirming diagrams and assessments and ordering levy of assessment for fiscal year 2026-2027 for the Cordova Recreation and Park District, Park Maintenance and Recreation Improvement District.
We have a motion by Director Danzel. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Vice Chair Mattis. Roll call vote.
Director Slum?
Aye.
Director Danzel?
Aye.
Secretary Yearwood?
Aye.
Vice Chair Mattis?
Aye.
Chair Langen?
Aye.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your summer.
Thank you. All right, that brings us to F3.
Item F3, public hearing in compliance with Assembly Bill 2561/Government Code Section 3502.3 regarding Cordova Recreation and Park District's vacancies, recruitment, and retention efforts. This is an informative presentation only, no action to be taken by the Board of Directors. And Human Resource Manager Andrea White will be presenting this item once the public hearing is open.
All right, the public hearing is now open at 6:46.
Thank you, Chair Langen and Board of Directors. I am here to present on this public hearing item that is a new law effective 2025. So this presentation is about Assembly Bill 2561, which requires public agencies to report to the board every year before the adoption of the final budget. So the purpose we're going to talk about is to report on job vacancies, review recruitment and retention efforts, identify potential hiring and obstacles and solutions, and of course provide transparency to the board and the public. Was reported, this came into law, that some agencies were using vacancies as cost savings, creating stress to staff existing staff. And so all agencies in California are required to do this. We just went through that. We need to hold the public hearing prior to the adoption of the budget and identify those barriers, and we'll be going through those. Many agencies do need to allow union participation if their vacancy rate is higher than 20%. So here is a look at our full-time job vacancy information. Our vacancy rate for 2025 was 4.2%. As you can see, it lists the full-time staff, the number of vacancies per month, and that vacancy rate based on that information. Just to note, last year was similar. It was at 4.4%. So it's pretty similar. And ours is pretty low compared to cities, as you can imagine. Some of the cities go as high as 18%, like in the city of Sacramento. They're around 6, 7. City of Rancho, I think, posted at 5%. So we're a little bit below the local average. So this is the recruitment process. The position becomes vacant for whatever reason, maybe a promotion, retirement, someone leave to another agency. And honestly, one step that's not in here is we evaluate that position. Our district is growing, so we might evaluate to see if another position is more appropriate, or see if there's an opportunity there to make some changes. But once it does become vacant, our intent is always to fill the position. So we do a requisition, we build the job bulletin, we advertise at many sites. We source the candidates, we review the applications. We're very thorough, personally reviewing applications. And then we're conducting interviews, usually a minimum of 2 interviews, a first and a second interview for the final candidates. We always do reference checking, especially full-time positions. And then we offer contingent offer of employment that could be contingent on a background check, well, always a background check, and a drug test if necessary, or a physical, depending on the position. Then contingencies are lifted and the start date is established. The law intends for us to tell you what the rate is from the time that it's vacant until the person is in the seat. So that can take a little while, depending on the situation. So our efforts, of course, are providing an efficient recruitment process. We also provide excellent customer service. We communicate very well with our applicants. We also provide median of the market for salaries and benefits. We offer, of course, work-life balance, promotional opportunities, employee recognition programs, and a positive work culture. Some of our key challenges are competition with local agency wages that potentially could be higher, market shortages for highly skilled or licensed positions. That has been true for our Park Planning and Development Department. Our longest recruitment took 364 days, where we posted 3 times in Park Planning. And we are going to wait to get the best candidate. And so we will keep working to make sure that we get a very good candidate. Developing a succession plan for business continuity and sustainability, and a lengthy time to hire process in comparison to the private sector. We follow a very structured process. But our solutions are to review and maintain a salary structure to be competitive. We continue to provide a competitive benefit package. We showcase the district's culture, mission, including Make This Time Matter and the FISH program, and also Make Safety Matter. That was a recent initiative. And continue to encourage and support professional development, and continue to support staff in engaging with professional resource groups. Our intention is to not have vacancies be strategic. We always intend to fill with excellent candidates. And that is pretty much it, unless you have any questions for me.
Are there any public comment?
We've received no public comment at this time.
All right, the public hearing is now closed at 6:52. Would any of the board members, do any of the board members have any questions?
None, sir.
No.
Thank you,
Thank you.
great job. All right, regular calendar, I see none. H, Board of Directors items.
For item H1 and H2A, there are no items, and item H2B is the Community Activities Report, and at this time, we have received no public comment.
All right. Well, yeah. Why don't we go ahead and start at the end of the dais?
That'll be me, right? Yeah. Okay, been a pretty busy month for me. Friday, June 19th, I attended the Rosemont Family Swim Night. It was themed superhero theme. And although it wasn't, big turnout, but the people that were there had a really good time and really enjoyed the nice facility. On Thursday, June 25th, I attended the CRPD Legislative Committee meeting put on by our advocacy group, CPPG, which is California Public Policy Group. There were numerous bills on the agenda, 17 Assembly bills, 12 Senate bills. Of the 29 proposed bills, 9 of them are currently being opposed by CRPD. There were 3 bills that were up for discussion, and those bills were AB 1383, AB 2346, and SB 1370. One of those bills, the AB 2346, I thought was an interesting bill because they're starting to focus on these electric vehicles and especially the electric bicycles. And I guess a lot of those bicycles do not come equipped with speedometers or lights. And so now they're going to crack down on that. And I guess the problem is that those bikes show up on the public bike paths and cause issues with the bike riders who are not able to go up to 35 miles an hour. And so they're going to talk about possibly putting a speed limit out there on the bike paths. And also, if you're 16 and under, you're not supposed to go more than like 10 miles an hour or 15 miles an hour. They're going to try to crack. I don't know how they're going to crack down on it, but I think it's another issue with the scooters that we're having too. So that was basically it. The next thing, Thursday, June 25th, I attended the Rancho Cordova Business Expo at City Hall. It was staffed by our own staff out there for the Park District. It was hot. It was pretty well attended, but it was hot. Hot, and they had some really nice, samples and stuff. Though it was well attended. Let's see, Thursday 25th special board meeting. Friday, July 3rd, I of course attended the festivities at Hagan Park. There was a circus. There was eating competitions, carnival, music, food, drone show, and fireworks. And it was packed. And it was also pretty nice weather. It wasn't overbearingly hot, but it was hot, and then it sort of cooled off a little bit in the evening. On the next day, Saturday, July 4th, I attended the 41st annual Rancho Cordova Hometown Parade and the Hagan Park festivities. The parade was long parade. I think there was 84 different entries, 10 marching bands, and it was also a pretty hot day. Park District had a nice show up with their little float or their little wagon with Director Danzel riding high in the saddle, holding down the fort. Nice. The show went well. The Spasmatics played. It was a very popular group, and it was packed. The park was totally packed. It was probably as crowded as I've ever seen it in all the years that I've been there attending this event. And the next thing was on Sunday, July 12th. I attended the annual Cordova Cordettes Aqua Show at Cordova Community Pool. And because they announce me and appreciate me showing up there because I'm able to, I took the photographs and I was able to get them in the grapevine right away. I got a story put together, and they're in this week's issue. So our facility gets to shine in the grapevine again. And I think that's all. That's all, folks.
Thank you, Director Sloan. I have two items. Yes, as Director Sloan said, I was in the hometown parade. It was a nice parade. I mean, the district handed out little red, white, and blue hand clappers and some beach balls to the residents of Rancho Cordova that were there for that. So that was a really great event. It continues to grow. And then second, I would like to bring up the fact that as our district grows, I think we need to continue to possibly grow with it, and in that aspect that we look at other possibly insurance for the district and find something that fits our needs. As we grow it just makes sense to look at other options, and it's been a few years since we've looked at options, and like we do with everything, we need to continue to look forward and look at what's best for our district. So Chair Langdon, I'm handing that over to you to work with staff to see if we can get that on next month's agenda. And that's the end of my report.
Wake up.
Oh, I'm just trying to think of how do we normally get something on the agenda? What do our bylaws say about that?
I don't know.
Anybody know?
What we could do is we could just take direction from Director Danzel. Actually, that was something that staff have already started working on, ironically.
Okay.
So, yes, I agree. There is some education research we want to do to compare what we currently have as our insurance carrier broker versus what we potentially could have. There are two specific options for special districts, and we have throughout the years compared both of them, but it is a good time for us to revisit that, and we can absolutely give an update on that at the next meeting.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
That didn't really answer my question, that's okay. I don't have anything to report out on.
All right.
Well, I think if you just wanted to say, if you wanted to have something for the next board meeting, you could just suggest it, and then the chair can go forward with it.
Right, okay. I thought our bylaws said at least 2 board members had to request something be considered for the agenda. Is that
We
not-
can look at the bylaws
Okay,
again and
that
bring
was
that
why I had the
specific
question.
information forward.
I thought in the past that in order for something to be added to the agenda by the board, 2 board members had to ask for that to be done. And I'm fine to say I'll be the second person, but that was why the question I had there is how does a board members get agenda items added? Because I thought our bylaws said it had to be requested by 2 board members.
So now
Could
we
be
have.
wrong about that.
So now we have 2.
So Brian would
Yeah.
mention, Brian would
Well, I
mention.
wanna make
this
sure we're on
again,
the up and up.
that
Yeah,
they're
agreed.
doing too.
All right, okay, that's it.
We'll bring back an update report on our research findings
Okay.
at the next meeting.
Great, thank you, sir.
All right. Though I do not have anything, I would also like to bring something up, possibly for our next meeting to look at. Just to have, not to look at, but to have a presentation by the DOVA, the complex that's gonna be going in. Just, I don't know, all of us, as much as do we all know about it? Do we not know about it? What do we know? What do we not know? And just ask them to come in and present what they are planning on doing. Just with a up-and-coming big project that could definitely affect our community. I think it's good to be in the know.
How does that relate to us, though?
So, I mean, I can't promise that, but
Yeah.
we can absolutely reach out to them and see if they're interested and able to do a presentation.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can ask. That could be something we could see if they're available to give us an update as to where they are with that. It doesn't really relate to CRPD because it is a private build. It is an amenity, an asset that will be coming to the community, so it'd be good just to have a general understanding of what the project is. So yeah, we can reach out to them, and I will update if we're able to have them present at the next meeting. Fantastic. If not, we can try to get them on a future calendar item for them to present to us.
I think maybe there could be future partnerships, sponsorships for parks.
Can we suggest they pick a different name? Downtown Dove is a no-go for me. So, but anyways.
All right, that brings us to comments by staff on non-agenda items.
Item I1, district-wide monthly progress report for July 2026. And at this time, we received no speaker cards. And seeing none, I will hand it over to General Manager Patrick Larkin.
Thank you, Shelby. Just some updates, highlights from the past month. Clearly, we are in our peak season, and so I will just highlight a couple of things. One of note is that we met with Rancho Cordova PD to schedule crime prevention through environmental design, CEPTED tours of our district facilities, and possibly provide some training to some of our staff to get certified. In the fall, they're offering a CEPTED certification program. So we're looking to have 3 of our staff members join that training to get certified in that program. So we appreciate the collaboration and partnership with Rancho Cordova PD on that. We met with Sacramento County staff. We discussed infill development fees related to parks in our district. We were happy to get the word that they will be agreeing to our interpretation, our version of how to apply and administer the fees. And so that is a giant win for us to move forward in knowing that we're working well together with the county staff and also applying fees consistently, considering they're the same ordinance and policies and procedures that we have in the city side of our house for our district. So that was great news. We had a fantastic district first annual safety week. We have on August 3rd, we should have construction equipment out at White Rock Community Park to start the dog park project. Phase 1 of the Cal-Am well project is completed. They have vacated the site temporarily. After we finish the dog park project, they'll come back onto the site and complete phase 2, which includes building a CMU wall around their new well complex. Just to note, Prospect Hill Park Shade Project, we're having a community information meeting coming up on this Saturday, July 18th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. If you are available and have not RSVP'd to Shelby, please do so. If we have more than 3 board members, we will need to post that meeting. We also had a significant role of our family swim night program. So on June 12th, we had Lincoln Village Community Pool hosted 80 community members, and their theme was Tropical Family Swim Night. Superhero Family Swim Night on June 19th at Rosemont High School had 20 participants, and then a very popular Mermaid and Pirate Family Swim Night was held at Cordova Community Pool, and we had 229 attendees for that one. We've done some good projects out at Gold River Park. They got a lot of love this past month. We trimmed back an old oak tree that was on the school district's sports courts, so now they have a little bit more accessibility and clearance from the basketball courts that are out there. Thank you, Vice Chair Mattis, for bringing that to our attention and partnering with the school on getting that project completed. We also replaced a side-by-side slide at Gold River Park. Hagen Community Park has 2 new fountains that were built and installed. The old fountains were 30 years operating and died. So if you go out there, you're going to see the Bellagio out there as you're walking into Hagen. It's going to be like, where am I? Am I in Vegas?
Was it dancing?
So,
Dancing fountain?
yes. So it's going to be
Change colors too?
it's going to be chimed to music. So we're very excited about
We
it.
didn't paint the,
Are you being serious?
we didn't paint the bed of the pond, did we?
No.
Okay, good.
No. So the fountains are fantastic. Go out there, but no, I am not serious about syncing it to music, but maybe someday. We'll see.
That wasn't in the budget.
Is there lights in it?
The Village Green got a sprucing up the building. The tower was painted. We offered a new program for teens. We put out a survey and asking teens what kind of programs they would like to see. They came back with sewing as being one of the popular skills and recreation activities they would like to do. We offered it for the first time at the White Rock Clubhouse, and we got 12 teens participate in this new program. So that's pretty awesome. And hopefully, maybe we can even look to expand that. So had some great park programs and camps at the Hagen Community Barn. The Teen Adventure Group, I'm still jealous about what they get to do. They went on a 3-day whitewater rafting trip down the Middle Fork of the American River, and also went camping for a 3-day excursion. We had a preschool STEAM play camp that was successful. We are still playing off the Mermaid Convention, and we had a mermaid camp. It was at full capacity in June and generated a wait list, and there's a really nice picture on page 325 of your packet with our mermaids posing on the famous rock on the entry to Hagen Community Park. Congratulations to Heather Shelsky. She received her California Master Gardener Certificate. As you know, we have a Green Thumbs lunch over at the Senior Center with a beautiful garden that they look to grow their food and then cook it for their monthly Green Thumbs lunch program. And so congratulations to Heather. She's also going to be looking to offer some community programs and classes related to gardening. At the golf course, we had a great camp program for UCP of Sacramento. We had 12 junior golfers working closely with our coaches from Will Robbins Golf. The camp wrapped up with a special playing experience on the course, and we had an unforgettable highlight when one junior golfer from that program scored a hole-in-one on their very first shot on hole 2. So kudos to them. That's awesome.
Still waiting for mine.
Latino Junior Golf Association is a new collaboration program that we are now hosting at Cordova Golf Course. The LJGA brings a rich history of youth golf development to the Sacramento community. The organization has built a strong legacy of providing a professional, supportive environment where young Latinos and Latinas athletes can develop their skills, build character, and grow both on and off the course. So great expansion, great partnership. Overall, they had 15 junior golfers in that program, and the program will culminate in an exciting fall tournament, bringing more than 50 junior Latina golfers and their families to our golf course. On page 331 of your packet, there are some upcoming events that we would love to see you at if you are available. On July 17th, Family Swim Night, Cordova Community Pool, 2 to 7 p.m. July 31st, Family Swim Night, Lincoln Village Community Pool. August 7th, Family Swim Night, Rosemont High School School Pool. And then going into the fall, September, Meet the Machines is back at Hagen Community Park on September 19th. And then Barktoberfest is also going to be hosted on September 26th at Lincoln Village Community Park and Pool. The dogs get to swim again. Also, a little bit more information on available events for you to consider attending on page 351. Starting on page 345, we are still doing our monthly digest reports out. Heather does a great job with the Neil Orchard Senior Activity Center newsletter. And then on page 337, we've got a really great complimentary thank you note to Doug, our golf course manager. It's a really nice just write-up from one of the participants who had been at the golf course years ago, stopped golfing and came back and was just so impressed about the changes and the improvements that we've made, and really just wrote a really nice thank you note to Doug. So there's the feel good for the month. Congratulations to Doug, and thank him for his exemplary customer service and managing a great program out there. And then lastly, on page 339 is our district monthly digest, which comes out monthly on emails, and we have that for you guys to review there. And that concludes my report.
It's a wonderful report. That letter was very nice. I liked that. It was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say something too, because there was a group of former Sac State baseball players. They all kind of got together and they remembered going to Cordova Park, or the Cordova Golf Course. And I was having dinner with one of them this weekend. They were talking about how they were just so impressed with the golf course.
Yeah.
And they said they just loved going there and
Oh,
having
that's
such a
cool.
great time. So it was like a nice little reunion spot for them.
Oh, nice. That's great. Yeah, so feel free to share those stories with us. We'd love to, honor our staff and recognize them for really just this incredible connection we're having with our community and our participants.
Awesome. That brings us to
Excuse me, I have something to share then, on the same line.
Sure.
I received a message from one of our residents, and it reads, "Hey Rick, this is Lupe Hernandez. I'm over at Sun River Park, and thought I'd give you a call and let you know my grandson is here on leave from the Coast Guard, Washington, D.C. So he walked over here and he's in awe, and he says the park looks beautiful, and he doesn't remember it ever looking so good. But he appreciates the park, and I told him that I would give you a call. I thought that was pretty nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, feel free, if you get those kind of comments, to send them over to us and we can include them in the packet as
Is that
well.
where the fish?
Are we doing fish anymore?
We are still doing fish.
Yeah.
Oh, fish, I'm sorry, pickles we're not doing. I can't keep the food.
Yeah,
groups.
and I sent you a fish
Pickle
nomination.
Pickled fish?
Pickled
Pickled
fish,
fish.
pickled
Is that
herring.
herring? Yes.
All right. We've moved past. the
All
pickle.
right, we are gonna adjourn this meeting at 7:14.
Just that.